Sean Callion.
Hey, Coach, how did you like how your team just jumped out? Let me try that again.
I got you now.
What did you like about how your team took advantage of those early mistakes and jumped up 17-0 on Purdue and took advantage of it early?
That was key. We started some. Got some echo, man. Can you put on mute if you're not, Sean? Thanks. It's key. We've started some other games off not so well. This one we caught a couple breaks, made a good play on. I just about our kids that they've been through what they've been through this year, and they just keep coming to work, keep fighting, and experience some positive things today. So I'm proud of them.
Next question, Sam McEwen.
Would you describe this as a team win? Your game kind of did a little bit of something. What were you proudest of today among those three phases?
Just the whole thing. You got to play well in all three to win every week, and the punt block really set the tone. Thought the defense, we talked about knocking out the rush so that we could focus on their passing game, and can't say enough about that. The way we held them down in the run game, without that 86-yard play where the two guys ran into each other, I thought the defense played really well. They got some really good players, and to be able to contain them like that. Offensively, we made plays when we needed to. Thought we threw it a lot better. So we got good things in all three phases, still things we need to clean up in all three.
Next one, Brian Christopherson.
Scott, can you talk about the day Cam Taylor-Britt had in particular against Bell, and especially coming back after the big touchdown you mentioned, the 86-yarder or whatever it was?
Yeah, he's one of our better players. He's been a good leader for us. We can count. We went down and got him as a quarterback coming out of high school, and we saw something in him, and him to have that success. Those guys have some really good wideouts, some really good skill, and you're never going to stop them, but I thought we did a decent job containing them.
What did you see from your team after that?
Just how they responded, because it felt like momentum was a little bit on Purdue's side, and obviously you answered with the drive that had a lot of penalty flags and all that.
That was one of the weirdest drives I've ever seen watching or coaching football. I thought our offense was calm and relaxed and businesslike going out there, which is what you need to do. They had penalties. We got to make sure we don't get those penalties. I have to see them on tape. But we managed to go down and get points and felt a lot better with it as a two-score game. So I like how the offense took the field to respond.
Hey, Scott, can you speak to what this win can do for your team, knowing that you've got a few left still this month?
That's all it is. Be bigger than that. I've been saying for a while, I think the team's ready to off and propel itself, but we got to experience some good things, develop the confidence. If I had to point to two things our team's been lacking a little bit, it's experience, because we're young and happened yet, and we're able to finish one. I think it's going to grow.
Next one, Joe Nugent.
Scott, curious on what you think of how clean the offense played today. No turnovers, and the first penalty didn't even come on the offensive side of the ball until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, then that one drive we had a couple, and again I'd have to look at them to see what they were, but we executed a lot better, and it's no secret. It's what we've been preaching to them. We had a really good Wednesday practice, a really good Thursday practice. We've been completing a high percentage of balls in practice with both quarterbacks. The detail's just been better, and we preached that for 3 years, but the message got across even more clear after the couple mistakes that cost us against Iowa, and the guys responded. And when our offense plays clean on drives, we got a lot better points on the board.
Hey, Scott, first blush. How did you think Adrian played? You mentioned sort of better efficiency in the pass game. And then also, was that an injury situation when Luke came in briefly at the end of the third quarter, early fourth there?
Our plan was to play Luke like we did last week and rotate him, but we had so much momentum, and I thought Adrian was playing well, so we didn't get to him. And then Adrian was a little nicked up, and we put Luke in. Luke did a good job, made a nice throw on third.
And Scott, one quick follow-up. Farmer before the game, and did you see what happened with him?
It was an ankle injury, and I think it was non-contact, just warming up. I really like his approach to the game, who he is as a player and a person, so to evaluate a little more when we get back to Lincoln.
Next question, Andrew Ward.
Was Wandale, in part of the game plan and getting him involved today? Obviously, probably his best game of the season so far.
The ball
Testing 1 2 3 4 5 6.
We're going to start players, guys, with Levi Paul.
All right, guys. Sorry to put you on the spot, but we're going to jump up since we left off with Coach. Andy Kennedy, you want to get started for us?
Sure. What does it feel like just to get rewarded for your efforts? I know that this been you guys have come so close, but haven't been over the hump. What does today feel like for you guys in that locker room to finish the job?
Yeah, I mean, nothing's better than winning, and we worked super hard during the week, and it finally paid off. And I think this is going to give us confidence to move forward in the future. And I think this is going to be a very good team in the near future. It's going to be tough to beat.
Dan Corey. Okay.
Sorry, I'll go ahead. How nice was it for you guys to go ahead and have the lead from the start and play with the lead for nearly the entire game? And how much did that help you guys relax as the game went along?
I love that. I kind of have a preference of the defense getting a 3 and out right away and then us going to get that lead. I think we play a little different. When we have that lead, we can do our thing. We kind of get 5-6 yards, 5-6 yards of play. So I think it's advantageous for us to play with the lead, and I think we showed that today.
Levi, what did you see on the block punt? Walk us through how that play unfolded.
Yeah, so we were that was our goal. Is we had a block called, and I was lined up right over the ball. So I had the shortest path to the ball, and it was snapped, and I just sprinted, and no one touched me. So it was pretty easy. And then got to give Simon a shout out for jumping on the ball at the 1 to give our offense a touchdown.
Parker Gabriel.
Hey, Levi, should Simon have picked that ball up and stepped in the – I mean, he can do that, right, when it's behind the line of scrimmage, advance it into the end zone?
Up and score, but there was a lot of people, a lot of Nebraska jerseys coming, and I think he heard footsteps. And if you hear footsteps, it's probably the smart thing to do is jump on it because his back is turned, so he's not going to see what color jerseys are behind him. And if it's on the 1, I don't think it really matters.
How have you seen sort of Adrian settle into a rhythm the last 2 weeks? He's been back in the starting lineup, and your passing game has sort of picked up the pace a little bit over the last 2 weeks.
I think our schedule was pretty tough at first. We went up against some tough defenses, and I think that just made him better. And he settled in, and we're moving the ball, and we have a ton of confidence in him.
Let's see, Brian Christopherson.
Hey, Levi, can you explain what you were seeing on the sideline after they scored on the long touchdown and that sequence? And then there was a crazy drive where it was like penalty after penalty on both sides. Just what was it like on the field during that kind of part of the game, that pivotal drive?
Yeah, it was pretty chaotic. we knew we had a 2-touchdown lead when they threw that long touchdown. And I think Cam went up for it, and I can't remember if it was Deontay. He went up for the ball, and he actually hit Cam, and it gave that guy an easy touchdown, but they were both making a play. Can't blame them for it. And then that long drive when we had a bunch of penalties, it was pretty chaotic. I mean, we knew we had the chance to burn the clock out and win the game, and I think we did a really good job of overcoming those penalties and to get the win.
Sam McEwen?
Levi, back to the offense for a second. Have you guys kind of tweaked or adjusted anything in the last couple of weeks to maybe improve your guys' efficiency? I don't know if that means different routes or different guys are playing, but it just seems like it's running a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't think we really adjusted much. We're just executing a lot better, and I don't know, maybe sometimes that happens at the beginning of the season. You're not executing as well. We all know our plan, or we all know our assignment now, and I think we're all executing well, and it seems like we're moving the ball really well the past couple of games.
Is there an improved chemistry between you guys and Martinez? I know it's a couple of different times. You sat down on a route, and he was right there to throw it to you, and how much more chemistry do maybe some of you new guys have with Adrian at this point?
Yeah, I think we, let's see. I think, the game reps definitely help. He knows what he has a better idea of what we're going to do. And if we see that zone, we're going to sit there. And I think the past couple of games, it's been on us a little quicker than normal. And that's led to more completions.
All right, guys, that's all the time we're going to have for Levi. Ben Stiller will be up next. When Ben sits down, we'll start with Mitch Sherman first. And then we'll hit Andy Kendi after that.
We good?
I guess I'm not. Yeah. Go ahead, Mitch.
Okay. Hey, Ben, can you discuss the role that the defense played in stemming some of the momentum that Purdue had? There was a time early fourth quarter where things started to turn a little bit in that game. What was the mentality like out there for the defense to get it back in Nebraska's favor?
Yeah, we've been playing pretty well all day on D, I think. So it really wasn't doing anything different than we've been doing all day. We just had to, stick to our job, keep doing our job to the best of our ability, and plays were going to come to us.
Did you guys feel that? Maybe a rise in tension? I mean, it was pretty comfortable as far as football games go, at least when it's 17-0 really quick. But then, later in the game, it's a 7-point game with quite a bit of time left. Did you feel some tension there in that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone did, but we've been in that moment a ton of times. We've been in a ton of close games. I don't think it really phases our team, phases our defense especially. We got a lot of veteran guys on defense. They played a lot of football, and nobody blinked.
Andy Kendi?
Hey, Ben, a year ago, we talked to you outside the locker room in West Lafayette, and definitely a different tone now. Compare this year's feeling to last year's feeling on how far this team has come.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not close. We let one slip away from us last year. Lost a game we know we should have won, and this year the game started to they kind of started to creep back in and whatnot, but we were able to close this one out.
What was the difference? Why were you able to do it this year and not last year?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of veteran guys on defense, like a lot of guys that have been in a lot of tough, close games, like a lot of guys that just are able to execute their job on a play-in and play-out basis, you know what I'm saying? So everyone just, doesn't panic, does their job, play in, play out, and it's gonna turn out well for you.
We got two more. Next one is Sean Callion.
Hey, Ben, it's where it was 2nd and 1 and you guys stopped them 3 in a row there, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. How big of a moment was that just for your defense to kind of have a stand like that where you just win up front when you know they're going to run and they have a big running back like Horvath, and you guys obviously came through with 3 big tackles?
Yeah, for sure. We knew what was coming, and I mean that obviously helped us out. Up front, we felt like we had an advantage for sure. So we were just doing our job. Everyone stayed in their gaps, and yeah, it definitely shows the improvement we've made over the past years.
All right, last question for Ben. Brian Christopherson.
Hey, Ben, you guys were getting home a lot, especially in that first half. Could you tell that they were getting frustrated, or Plummer was, just with, kind of the constant harassment and also some of the holding penalties you guys were getting this called this time?
Yeah, for sure. Just from remarks and whatnot, his body language, you can definitely tell he didn't like having pressure in his face all day. And yeah, I was just proud of the D-line and outside backers working together today, being able to rush together and collapse pocket.
All right, Ben, thank you. Wandale Robinson will be up next. All right, guys, Wandale's up. We'll start off with Mitch Sherman.
Wandale, what can this do for the team? Getting a win. I mean, the difference between 2 and 4 at this point and 1 and 5 would appear to be pretty significant.
I can't hear you.
You hear me now? One more time.
Yeah, one more time.
Okay, yeah. Congrats on the win. What do you think this means for the team this month going ahead with the 2-3 games left? It would look like the difference between being 2 and 4 right now versus 1 and 5 is a pretty significant one.
I think it's really good for us. I think this helps us build some momentum, especially going into next year. But just today, it was just really good to get that win and have some confidence, especially going into next week. And so that was just a really good overall win.
Next question, Derek Peterson.
Hey, Adrian Martinez only missed 7 of his throws today. Is he doing something differently maybe than at the start of the year? Does he look different? Does he feel different? Like what has changed with him?
I think it's a little bit of everybody. Part of that goes on us with receivers and running backs and tight ends moving and practice the way we should be to make sure that Adrian's confident whenever we get out to the games. This week was probably our best week of practice with that, and so obviously it showed out there on the field this week.
Next question, Parker Gabriel.
Hey, Wandale, what's been the difference for you the past couple of weeks? Obviously, your production individually is way up. And then what was it like to finally get to actually play against Rondale, you guys both being on the same field?
Yeah. I mean, it was good to finally just kind of get going again. Defenses have kind of just really been taking everything away from me. But and then to play with Rondale, that was one of the best things. We almost played together in high school, but that didn't happen. But it was just really nice to play against him.
All right, next question is Sam McEwen.
This is similar to the question Derek asked you, but your passing game just seems a little bit more precise. Like the passes are on you a little faster. What have you guys tweaked at all in the last couple of weeks and to kind of things just look a little bit more open and crisper?
Kind of simplify things, and then again it goes back to practice and how we practice and prepare every week. And so this week we had a really, really good week of preparation, and we just have to continue to do that, and every week it can look like this.
Feel like your coaches have talked to the quarterbacks about getting you the ball specifically, whether it's on a quick throw or looking for you a little bit more often?
I mean, I would probably, there's a couple times that it's like, if there's nothing there, just dump it down and let me get what I can get. But at the end of the day, our quarterbacks have to stay true to their reads and do what they're supposed to do.
All right, this will be last question. Sean Callion.
Hey, Wandale, I'm curious, that first drive of the third quarter, they had cut it to 14 at halftime. How big was that for you guys to put together a 75-yard clean drive that ate up 5 minutes? Obviously, there weren't big plays, but it was just really flawless execution by you guys all the way down the field.
And it was really good, especially coming out in second halves. In previous games, we hadn't came out like that. So it was really good to see us just go right down the field and march the ball down the field and score. We just have to start doing that more often.
All right. Thank you, Wandale. All right, guys, looks like we have Cam Taylor Britt. Any questions? We'll start with Andrew Ward.
Hey, Cam, just curious what you thought of your own performance, obviously going up against David Bell, and what did you see on those last couple of pass breakups you had there at the end of the game?
I just knew, they wanted to get him the ball. As one of their playmakers, besides Rondell Moore. And I just knew, with me playing on the outside, they were just going to test that one-on-one, that's their second best player, on their team.
Joe Nugent.
Cam, I'm curious about the emotions after this win. It's a good one that you guys played well in the fourth quarter to finish off. Just how good does it feel?
Man, it feels great. We just preached through the whole week, man, to finish. Just play 4 quarters, 60 minutes, even more than 60 minutes. If we're going to overtime, just play full out, give everything that you got. With Colin down and some other teammates, we just want to give them our all because we know they would do the same for us.
All right, guys, we got time for 2 more. Parker Gabriel.
Cam, how do you feel like the defense has come together just as a whole unit over the course of the year? I mean, you guys have played pretty well. You've held Purdue to -2 yards rushing overall today. Just where do you feel like you're at as a group?
I feel like we're, everybody can get better. We may come out there and do that, but, there's always room for improvement. We want to keep, 0 on the board and not, what they had on the scoreboard. We made some little mistakes that can be fixed and, just go back out there and fix it.
Last one, Evan Bland.
Hey, Cam, what was the mood like just among some of the guys on special teams to have that unit play as big of a role in the game as it did? And did it feel like this sort of performance from that unit overall was due for a while?
Oh, most definitely. As I'm the punt returner, and I just tell the guys, go get back there so I don't have to, run the ball up there, where we'll usually be anyway. And when they got the block, they were just running down at me, and I told the guys that were running down at me to turn around because it's not coming to me. But man, we just preached it the whole week, just coming off that Iowa game and them, returning the ball like nobody's business. And we just want to go down there, give them everything we got.
All right. Thank you, Cam. All right, guys, Adrian Martinez up. We'll just jump back to where we left off and start with Sean Callion.
Adrian, I'm curious, just the start you guys got off to. A year ago, you were in a similar spot out here where you could have really jumped on them and you guys didn't take advantage of it. Today, you guys get up 17-0. What did that mean just for the rest of the game to jump up like that?
Yeah, I think it was significant. We knew that we wanted to continue to
push it on offense, the defense hold up. None of us wanted to let up. We realized, I think without having to say anything, that we were in a similar position last year, and this team is definitely capable of coming back. So, yeah.
Sam McEwen?
Adrian, you guys, the score got cut to 34-27, and then there's what Scott Frost called one of the strangest or weirdest drives he's ever seen. Can you walk through that drive that kind of gave you guys the field goal and give you the 10-point lead with all the penalties and how you guys kind of closed it out?
Yeah, it was definitely bizarre, but a point of emphasis for us this week was focus, and we weren't going to let it slip. Regardless of any penalties, whether it was on us or on them, I kept encouraging the guys. I know our O-line was talking to each other, our receivers were into it, continuing to stay the course, regardless of whatever penalties, whatever. Let's dial in, let's continue to be efficient and find a way to score points.
What pass game been better the last 2 weeks?
I would say Luke and I pushing each other in practice, Coach Lubick, Coach Purdue. We've just all really been honed in on the detail, and our receivers have really started to come into their own, and you know, Betts, Levi, Oliver, our tight ends, I mean, they're all helping us out a tremendous amount. So I feel really good about those guys, and I know Luke does as well. We've just been chopping at it.
Ben Sherman?
Hey, Adrian, how'd you feel as the second half went along? I know Luke came in at one point, and you may have gotten a little treatment on the sidelines. Where were you at physically through that?
We have a tremendous medical staff and trainers. I have a lot of faith in those guys. So just getting some things cleaned up, a little banged up, but that's football. You know, everyone's a little banged up. So just had to get right and get back out there.
I can't hear you, Keith. Two more. All right, Kevin Suits.
Adrian, I'm guessing the last 2 weeks have not been very easy. The result's not what you wanted. How good does this one feel for you guys, not only to win, but to win on the road and to win in the manner in which you did, hanging on at the end and playing with the lead almost the entire game?
It feels great. And I would say it's something that we haven't done a ton of in my time here. And it's a good feeling. It's always nice to win. It's nice to win on the road. And I think this team proving that we are capable of winning in a style like that is huge for us moving forward.
All right, last one, Parker Gabriel.
Adrian, you guys have really got Wando Robinson involved a lot, especially over the last 2 weeks. What has sort of facilitated that? And I know you want to take shots with him, but it looked like you found him a lot underneath and in third down situations today too.
Yeah, well, he's one of our best, if not the best playmaker on our offense, and that's a big point of emphasis for myself, Coach Lubick, and Luke McCaffrey, obviously Coach Frost. We know the type of player he is, and I think we kind of came to the conclusion that he deserves more opportunities, and I was going to take it upon myself and the rest of us in the quarterback room to try and get him some more touches.
All right, thank you, Adrian. Thanks, everybody. I believe that'll wrap it up for us here. I haven't heard different from Keith. I guess we can wait for just a second.